Thank you. I'm grateful to Bahrain for inviting me. Uh, well, dealing with Taliban has been a frustrating experience. So, uh, whatever frustration has been expressed here by Dr. Hans Schindler and before that, uh, Dr. Sakhi, uh, Dr. Nilofer Sakhi, and also Mohsen Dawar also talked about that. But the issue is they are a reality. They are a business on in the town. What to do as a realist or as a state? What we are going to do? And when I talk from the Pakistan's perspective, what should we do when we have 17 tribes on the border, divided on both sides of the border? Shinware, Moman, Achakzai, Nurzai. These are the tribes. They are. In fact, before this one document regime, which was introduced, and restrictions were put on free flow of people. Pakistan used to have 50 to 60,000 Afghans straddling the border every day for work or for businesses. Now, this is the situation on the ground. Among them are the people who either they are part of TTP or part of one Taliban. Like recent surge in TTP attacks was actually facilitated by the Afghan Taliban, or for that matter, Afghan Taliban themselves were part of those attacks. So these are the frustrations for any government in Pakistan. And then that too at a time when there were some people who celebrated Taliban's coming to Kabul. Now I think they are cutting a sorry figure, and then that situation is now going back to the drawing board, and now the governments want to change the track. So now, how whether they succeeded or not, uh, the jury is still out. But the main issue is that there has been a surge in terrorist attacks, and how to control them. Each government has its own priorities. So right now, I think that trade has been used as a tool, and trade is stopped since 12th October uh, between the two countries. And it is causing millions of dollars of losses, especially to the Afghan traders. But this is just not the Afghan traders, actually. It is also causing immense losses to the people, normal people. Already, Afghanistan is suffering from abject poverty, where poverty graph is almost 27%, out of which around 52%, as per the UN estimates, are actually dependent on international assistance. If that graph of international assistance, and mind you, international assistance has been dwindling by the year since 2021 onwards. So the situation is grave. And it is equally dangerous, not just for Pakistan, for the entire immediate neighborhood and beyond. And in that situation, if the Taliban they don't want to talk to, and when I said that it was a frustrating experience talking to the Taliban, it was that, for instance, I give you one example, that in May 2023, they signed the trilateral joint statement between Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Chinese foreign ministers, in which the Taliban foreign minister, Muttaqi, committed that the Afghan Taliban government will control the TTP and ETIM. And when this trilateral foreign minister meeting was held in July this year, the Afghan Taliban government, I mean, those delegation refused even to repeat that language of May 2023 understanding. And when the reason was asked, they said, well, last time when we agreed, it caused a lot of problems for us from our leadership. So we are not. So here, what I'm trying to underline is that they lack art of governance, they lack diplomacies, under which if they have agreed to an understanding, it is quite easy for them to vanish from that. And this is what we have witnessed. For instance, when we were holding dialogues, there were no takeaways after the dialogue. So that was frustrating experience. Reason is that if you look at in the Taliban's foreign office today, hardly 27 or 28 professional diplomats are left. The rest are all mullahs. So they know how to negotiate. It's not enough as far as diplomacy is concerned. So, and it causes frustration. I'm sure my colleagues from Europe who may have been talking to the Taliban, whether in Doha or directly in Kabul or their own capitals, they can, I mean, they can vouch that whatever discussion they have with the Taliban, what kind of a takeaway they have with those meetings, with those understandings, unless you are giving to the Taliban regime something, and then they'll be happy. For instance, now India has been traditionally paying the Afghan regimes, whether it was Zahir Shah's time or Sardar Daoud's time, or for that matter, communist time, or then came the Mujahideen after the civil war, or for that matter, when Taliban 1.0, so there was a nexus between India, Russia, and Iran. So though India was paying them. For instance, during the past 20 years, India had a field day. They were paying the who is who of Afghanistan. I was deputy head of mission in Kabul from 2005 till 9. So we have had many evidences that they were paying. So while India's soft image is very much there among the Afghans, but especially those who are the officials, because it's an easy way to uh, gain their favor and not get anything in return. So that's the soft power image at the moment, because India does not enjoy the geographical advantage as far as Afghanistan is concerned. But having said that, what happened? Once Taliban came in August 2021, India had to wonder because they had nothing there. And then India was the one which was presenting Taliban as terrorists, right? But as you say, politics makes strange bedfellows. So now they are enjoying, they are sharing the same bed. So it is politics, reality. So here, even if we become emotional about terrorism and all that, but the real politics is there on the ground, that you are actually seeing what is at hand and what is on your plate at the moment, how you can clear it at the moment. So this is what no one is talking about posterity. Gone are those leaders, or gone are those political parties who would plan. Now, what are you seeing at the United States? It is actually a day-to-day politics which you witness. And what is happening in the European scene? In fact, Europe has just perhaps given up as far as international issues are concerned. Forget about Afghanistan. Afghanistan is nowhere. There's no appetite as far as Europe is concerned or United States is concerned. There's no appetite whatsoever. And we can still claim that ISKP is gaining ground, Al Qaeda is gaining ground. There are over 20 terrorist groups which are holed up in Afghanistan. But right now, there is no appetite. So only in the immediate neighbors, they are vulnerable, and of which Pakistan is bearing the brunt. But how you control that situation, it will take a while. As far as TTP is concerned, Mohsen Daur talked about that they have a control in KP, but I would say from political point of view, uh, TTP does not enjoy popular support among the people. I think PTM enjoys more support than TTP. Reason is that PTM has raised political issues to which Mohsen Daur was part of it for some time. So their political support is more. They can gather the people. They are the public face. TTP are hiding. TTP does not have governing spaces. Yes, they may come and enter there, and recently, now people are actually rising against the TTP, and they have in fact killed those people also. So this is the situation. Political On the political chessboard, this can change as far as Pakistan. And then Pakistan has got institutions. Forget about, we talk about army and others. It is actually the institutions, whether it's civil or military institutions, they are working. In Afghanistan, it is not. Had this been the case, despite 20 years of so-called democratic rule, with more than 300,000 army, it melted down. It melted down without fighting with the Taliban. So there were no institutions. So institutional building in Afghanistan has been lacking ever since the Soviet troops left Afghanistan. And they have destroyed. And the problem with Afghanistan is that its leaders destroyed the country. Now they are sitting outside the country having a lavish life. And the people are left there to live day-to-day basis, and everything is destroyed. And this, its fallout would be borne by the immediate neighbors. Now, Afghanistan is a center of war economy, to which our two provinces, Balochistan and KP, are equally impacted. And this is the problem we are immediately facing, and there's a need to address those issues. Of course, governments have inefficiencies. That is true for Pakistan also, but the institutions are working. And yes, good or bad, but I think they will be ultimately, it would be the institutions which will ultimately succeed. This is not the case as far as Afghanistan is concerned. I fully agree with Dr. Hans Chandler that there's no good news. But at the moment, yes, there's no good news. But at the same time, I think Taliban have failed to deliver. And that is the cause for not only concern, but also optimism. Optimism, but I don't see much optimism because the opposition is not united enough. It is not organized enough. It is not coherent. So these are the challenges. With all these challenges, you have to deal with Afghanistan, whether as a country, as Pakistan, or as Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Iran, or within Afghanistan, whether it is opposition sitting outside mostly, or for that matter, even if inside the country, they are actually facing the challenges and they are not so much open to challenge the Taliban. So here I would stop here with this not so optimistic note, but at the same time, there's no cause for to be too pessimistic because we are talking about politics, and politics changes with the change in scene and the change in characters. So I think ultimately you will have uh, better results because it's an ongoing process. So it never stagnates. I stop here. I'll welcome the questions. Thank you.